I'm audible? Yeah, while we get the chairs, a very pleasant afternoon to everyone present here. It's the second year for Phonepe ads at iMedia, and we're glad to see quite a few familiar faces again. I thought I'll refrain from speaking about the Jaipur rains, but it's like the iMedia folks and the rain gods have signed a pact. Wherever you go, we follow. And I think it's been 2 years and we've been seeing this. Uh, but quite interesting. It's been something which I never thought of thinking about Jaipur. While Goa was not enough, Jaipur has been even better. Perfect. I'm Abhay Sharma. I head client sales for Phonepe ads. And I'm delighted to be joined by Shivani Tiwari, Head of Growth and Digital Marketing for Ajio. Shivani, as we all know, is a familiar face in the e-commerce and digital marketing space with over 13 years of work across some of the top organizations in the country, including Flipkart, Ajio, YouTube, Madison, and Group M. And I think while thinking about the topic, redefining Ajio's growth through Phonepe ads, we thought that there's no one better to talk about than Shivani herself. So on that note, welcome Shivani.
Thank you for having me, Abhay. I'll prefer to sit. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I think just to begin with Shivani, we know Ajio today is a household name when it comes to online e-commerce shoppers in the country. And I was reading a few stats with over 200 orders in a minute, a staggering 15,000 crore GMV, 80% of repeat customers, a massive penetration in tier 2, tier 3. Just tell us, Shivani, what is one thing that stands out for Ajio versus anyone else in the market?
So what works for Ajio is that we've been extremely consistent. We are consistent in terms of positioning ourselves in the premium space, premium and exclusive international brands. In terms of catalog expansion, we are extremely bullish on getting all global brands in India. And specifically in marketing and growth, what we are focused on, how do we experiment new platforms and publishers, but with the intention to quickly scale with revenue generating partnerships.
Sure. Well, interestingly, I was speaking with her yesterday. For me, while there have been a lot of brands having international brands, the first time when I noticed any international brand was on your app. And I think that is something which made me associate more towards Ajio per se. Again, we at Phonepe, we take a lot of pride in providing the reach, scale, and engagement that truly defines Bharat. Of course, we are the biggest payment player in the ecosystem with close to a 50% market share, but that is something which we take a lot of pride. Tell me something, Shivani, how has your partnership with Phonepe helped you drive your business objectives?
So essentially at Ajio, what we are looking at to optimize for is increasing the quality of our traffic and how do I improve frequency of visit for my users. So in that space, Phonepe has been able to help us leverage their rich audience learning, where we have curated around 30 to 40 million of specific fashion transactors with whom we share relevant coupons. And we are also able to get new users. So we have a specific new user and new customer target on a daily basis. It's scary at some times, but with partners like Phonepe, and specifically Phonepe is the largest contributor, around 4,000 to 4,500 new customers per month is what we acquire only through Phonepe in the premium segment. And one of the spaces where we are bullish is to grow beyond metros, so growing in tier 2, tier 3. And what I was just looking at the data is amongst UP, Bihar, MP, multiple states, we are growing massively only through Phonepe. And I was just also looking at another data point where we see that the relevancy of coupons on Phonepe due to how the tech is built, like people choose their own interests, so from a user perspective, it's not intrusive and very relevant coupons come to me as a user. So when we are sharing those coupons for our customers as well, the coupon relevancy shares quite assurance for us as marketers.
No, absolutely. And I think we were listening to Mr. Ravi sir from HDFC yesterday. And interestingly, when he mentioned that being a bank, we capture a lot of data in terms of how a user transacts. Now just think about adding another layer on top of the bank, wherein a player like us comes into picture and say, and says that, hey, while the bank knows that a lot of people transact at an XYZ places, we know that how many banks that a customer is tied into. What is the sort of behavior that a customer has across each banks or across each cards that we have. And that is the power of data that we play with. Shivani, just a follow-up question on that. Of course, we understand that festives are big ticket events for you. The entire strategy around festive is different from when it is on the BAU side of things. How has Phonepe ads as a platform been able to enable you to drive that differentiated growth when it comes to festive?
So as a marketer during sale events, what we are looking at is instant scale. So and if in BAU I'm doing an X million, I'm looking at a 3 to 4x million traffic on a sale day. And where Phonepe has 120 million plus DAU, where we are able to leverage not just the number of, but it's also quality traffic. Unlike most companies in the e-commerce space, Ajio is heavily focused on quality of traffic because we measure the secondage of each session, which we have observed that comes very good quality session during sale from Phonepe. Secondly, the understanding is that how do I improve the purchase journey of a user? And since you are a purchase platform, Phonepe has been able to help us both in terms of, let's say, when the sale starts. On the opening day, we use impact properties where it is the banner and the post-transaction screen. But we are also able to, show offers that are customized to users. For example, a different fashion offer to a different males will see different offers, metro different offers. So we are able to customize and also use understanding of both repeat and new users. So Phonepe has been phenomenal. Also in my previous role at Flipkart, I had seen that for tier 2, tier 3, it's also similar. Of course, the average order values are very different, but I think for each use case, having seen both of them premium and non-premium segments, I think Phonepe has always worked with whether your metric is CTR, and here we measure cost per session. I think compared to even very aggressive shopping campaigns across top platforms, Phonepe stands quite strong.
And interestingly, what I've noticed is there is a lot of experimentation that goes on the offer callouts as well.
Yes.
Different cohorts being targeted through different.
So we've iterated with a lot of offer callouts. Like we've also started tiered couponing. Like at a certain, for 999 you'll have a 250 rupees offer. For 1599 you'll have a different offer. And what we are seeing is in metros, like 1,000 off on 3499 is taking up much more on metros versus in non-metros it's usually 250 off on 999. So the ability to customize and yet not have coupon wastage, I think that is something that's very important. Also, the coupon redemption percentage is very high compared to a lot of other competition or payment platforms that I've observed.
Interesting. Shivani, just one last thought. In your next stage of growth, what are your expectations from a partner like Phonepe or from the other players that you work with?
So I think most of the folks here would understand, like whether it's a CRM or other channels. Like for me, you have 100 rupees or limited money to spend across your, on your customers. So what we are seeing is that due to Android 14, your push notifications opt-in has reduced. So my capability, even on my owned media, to harness my user, browser to first customer journey is very limited. I think Phonepe and other payment platforms in this ecosystem have the capability to really enrich this database and probably create a much stronger maybe tool or a plug-and-play solution. Additionally, for branding or for ROAS properties, I think how can we use our first-party data layered with your understanding of a customer? Like if I could probably understand somebody who buys mango on Myntra would also end up buying, let's say, in future, H&M on Ajio. So those kind of understanding without data sharing and keeping user privacy at the core, I think that's where the future lies.
Interesting. Well, I can see the clock ticking. That was that time, Shivani. But if I have to sum up and take three key takeaways from this conversation, one, understanding from you, premium is very important for e-commerce. Two, for me, is like while Ajio moves to the next stage of growth, they will continue to expand. So whether it is a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, every customer becomes important for you. And third, I think more so for all of us, for us to learn that it is important to bridge a gap between a user and a customer. And I think that is what players like you are looking from platforms like us, to get you the right set of customers who would eventually convert and drive you those metrics. Perfect. It was nice speaking with you,
I just
Shivani.
want to add like one point. I think someone is here from Swiggy and all. When you are working on couponing constructs, I think the kind of tech Phonepe and certain companies have built, that ensures that you're not doing spray and pray of your coupons. Like it's not just another, yellow pages that you're distributing. So that technology that Phonepe has helped, both as an advertiser and as a consumer, I think it's an extreme delight. And the capability to further enhance it to first-party data that's where the North Star is.
No, absolutely. And we will continue to innovate and invest in such product solutions. Thank you so much, Shivani.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, guys.
To Abhay, thank you so much for sticking to time as well. Could we have a louder round of applause, please? Lovely. Could we have our